Hey guys, yep, another day, another ride on a GS, and I'm doing some errands today, and always got the camera on the bike, and not always turning it on, but I figured I'd turn it on because what popped into my head now, another question, because it seems like I'm asking lots of questions. Do you think the GS, and I don't have the GSA, I just have the GS, do you think it's one of the better cold weather bikes? Now I'm sure there's better bikes out there, but for me it's the best compromise as far as wind protection. Now today it's like 10 degrees warmer than the other day. It was like 45, it's roughly about 55, 56. Sun's out pretty much, so it's mostly sunny, and I'm thinking, is this one of the better bikes for cold weather? I'm always looking to go get another bike. I want to have another bike, not to replace this bike. But when I ride this bike in the winter, I said, geez, I don't want to be on a naked bike. I definitely want to have heated grips, and I don't have a heated seat, and I don't know how much that would improve the winter riding. I'm sure it would improve it a lot. It's something I don't really complain about, but the heated grips are really nice. And I know there's, like I said, there's better bikes out, like maybe an RT, or like a big Indian or a Harley, with the old full fairing, and they all have the heated grips. I've never been on those bikes when it's really cold out. I've been on when it's cool but not cold. I don't like that confining. I don't like to be buried totally in the bike. I don't mind sitting in the bike, but with all the fairing, I'm not a big fairing person as far as all over. This is kind of the max. This has more fairing than I would like on a bike, and it's just enough for me. And I don't like the big screens. I know a lot of guys like, they want to get the, I guess if you're a tall rider, you want to get that wind off your head, especially if you're doing a lot of highway miles. And, this bike just seems to fit perfect for me. I always say that this bike was just seems like it was made for me. And, I just kind of want your thoughts on what do you think one of the better cold weather riding bikes are. Like, over in England, I watched a lot of videos from England, and they don't seem to have good weather at all. It's a very short good weather riding time, maybe a couple of months, maybe less, I don't know. I'd love to hear from guys over there. Australia, I think, would be more, would be warmer, a lot more warmer than colder, but I could be wrong there too. Where I'm at now in North Carolina, you got good 8 months of riding weather, easily 8 months. And me, I like to ride all year long as there's no snow on the ground. I haven't ridden in the snow yet. I don't plan to. But that's kind of my question today. As I ride to do my errands today, I guess I could take a car, but I'd much rather take the bike. I'm dressed in 2 layers today. I kind of have a system: 3 layers when it's 50 below, 50 to 65, 2 layers, and then 1 layer above 65. That's kind of my deal. And what do I mean by 2 layers, 3 layers? Mostly, it's always 2 layers. When it's super cold, I do 2 layers. It has to be really, really cold to do 3 layers on the pants. So I usually do thermals in my riding jeans because they're thicker than my riding pants. These have, Kevlar and knee protection and all that stuff. And then but 3 layers in the top. So right now I only have 2. I have a thermal and my jacket. And so, which comes with a hoodie, so you could say maybe it's 3 layers anyway. But this is kind of my up to 65 degree weather jacket. It's worn out, it's beat up, it's missing some Velcro straps on here, I guess you guys can see. I cut them off because they weren't really hooking and flapping, but I like it. It's just a beat up old jacket, but I like it. And the hoodie's faded black and stuff, but I know I'm going off a little bit, but yeah, I want to know, what do you think the better ones are? Now the RT looks like it really, you're like in a bubble, or the K1600s. I know I'm going to BMW, but any of those big cruising type bikes with lots of fairing on them, that you can just kind of be in that cocoon, and you got a heated seat, heated grips, and I guess the Goldwing would probably be the top of the list of just super protection, super comfort, but not for me. It's too much. I like those bikes. It's not that I don't like those bikes. I really like the Goldwing. I think I've said this before. The Goldwing that's black with the red accent engine pieces. I really like that bike a lot. But I don't want a bike. I guess it'd be a highway bike, it'd be fine. But I don't want a bike that's I guess close to 900. Well, I don't know, 850 pounds. I just don't want to ride that every day. I just not, you know, this is it. This is my max for weight of a bike. 550, 600 pounds is all I want. You know, I'm going to add another bike, and it's going to be in the 450 range, maybe 400, but probably the 450 range. And you know, that's the kind of bikes I like. And yeah, so I know those probably give you the ultimate protection, but for me, this is just kind of the best of everything. It's kind of a naked bike in some ways. I know you might not put this in this category because it doesn't have the big windscreen. It's not like the GS with the big old gas tank, and it really protects your legs. I can feel a little bit on the outside of my legs. I don't have any thermals on. I got 56 degrees, and I'm comfortable. I'm fine. You feel a little coolness, but it's absolutely fine as long as the sun's out. I've ridden a lot in the mid-50s, and it's totally comfortable. I got basically my gloves I wear all year round now. These new gloves I bought. I got one winter gloves with me, so I could, you know, winter or, you know, cold weather gloves, I could put them on. I have some really cold weather gloves, but those, you can't feel anything when you're riding. You don't feel the clutch good. You don't feel anything. So I don't like those gloves. But GS is the bike that basically you can ride all year round. I don't find this bike a problem in the summertime when it's super hot out. The engine doesn't give off any heat that's abnormal, anything like that. Nothing like that. Nothing. In fact, the Triumphs I own didn't do that. In fact, every bike I've ridden so far really hasn't been a problem with heat, except for the one Triumph that had the it had the exhaust on your leg, but that was something I could have fixed easily. But the engine heat, it wasn't an issue. Just trying to think if it's not. But I hear horror stories about I like the Tuanos, but I hear the horror stories about the V4 with the heat it gives, and it has some oiling problems with the spark plugs. They have these O-rings on the spark plugs, and I'm not really familiar with how it works, but oil gets out and starts leaking, and they keep trying to fix it. It's a super great bike, but probably out of my price range for a second, you know, for my other bike. I just want to spend between $10,000 and $12,000, so yeah, so this, like I said, and I'm kind of going off a little bit, but yeah, I'm more interested in what you guys think is a good cold weather bike, or to even bother with the cold weather. Some guys, it gets to a certain temperature, they're not riding. You know, it's just not happening. And with me, if I have the urge, I don't really care what the temperature is, because I have the gear to ride, and I have the bike to ride in the cold weather. So it really doesn't matter. So, you know, I just take out the GS and be done with it. But I wouldn't take out my Speedmaster, and I wouldn't take out my Scrambler that I had. I wouldn't take out the Kawasaki I redid, the 77. The KZ, I wouldn't have done that, and so, but the GS, I wouldn't think twice about it. And I'm sure you guys wouldn't think twice about it, you know, if you have, you know, your big old Indian, Harley, you know, your K1600 or your RT or BMW RT, because they all, you know, they really encompass you, and they protect you, and you know, and to me that's a good thing, but it's also a bad thing, because I like to have that, like I said, I like to have an open feeling of a bike. I don't really want to be buried into the bike. I want to be able to see things around the bike, and it just feels like you just it's like I'm claustrophobic. I might as well be in a car, you know. I mean, for me guys, I'm not, you know, busting your balls. If you got an RT and you love it, that's fine. I know they say they handle great, you know, I'm all about handling, but I mean, I got my shield up, as you can see, and I feel a little cool air coming in, but it's nothing bad. If I was on the highway, I'd probably have the shield down, but this little screen here does a really fantastic job for my size, 5'11", you know, 165 pounds. It just does a perfect job for me, and yeah, I'm happy. So yeah, all right guys, so I guess that's a short video. Nothing really special, nothing really crazy happening. I'm just figure I'd take you guys to the hardware store. I'm going to a hardware store, so I'm taking you guys to the hardware store with me. Got to pick up some hardware, and just little things, so I don't need the car. And I figured I'd ask that question. Maybe you guys can give me an answer. Maybe not. I don't know. Some of you guys that, well, I'm trying to think of some of the guys where they ride. Jim rides in Arizona, New Mexico. I guess if you go up, and it was 36 degrees. I'd be curious to see how he felt when it was 30. He didn't seem to complain about it. I guess he was dressed for it. I guess he had the right equipment and also the right bike. Obviously the right bike. You, Jim, you have the shorter screen. I wonder how that affects you as far as, going faster, whatever. I don't like to, I tend to go faster than, maybe I should, but right now I'm just kind of chilling. It's only it's 45 mile an hour speed limit. I'm going, about 55 or 60. So I've been curious that same with Australia. Do you, is there really any cold places? I know at night it can get cold, but isn't it hot most of the times? Anyway, so. All right, guys, that's it. Just a quick one, and I'm sure I'll be back with another video about something. I'm always starting to think of something. Like I said, I carry the camera with me, and when something pops in my head, I just turn it on. So, all right, we'll talk to you later, guys.